let's use this basic sense to solve certain questions based upon the same logic. So just solve this one now. So this was the term, and actually we can see that this was a very straightforward question, just the implementation of the understanding that we have just discussed. So in this case, the first question was minus 18 minus 3. So in this case, we can see that this is minus 18 and then another minus 3. So it is going more back. So now we clearly know otherwise that when two numbers are negative, we simply have to add them. Minus 18 minus 3 actually means directly minus 21. So this is straightforward, minus 21. So this was the answer for the first part. Next comes minus 12 plus 5. So one is negative, one is positive. So minus 12 plus 5 gives me directly minus 7. It is same as 12 minus 5 but with a minus sign. The sign is to be of the bigger one. So in this case, the bigger number, the number which is larger in magnitude is 12. So minus 12 plus 5 is minus 7. Minus 2 plus 33. It is same as 33 minus 2, which is what? 31 and a positive 31. So this was again a very simple one. But we have to practice so that we don't do any mistake in these questions. Next is minus 24 minus 16. Both are negative. We clearly know that we simply have to add them and put a minus side of it. So that is minus 24 minus 16 is same as 24 plus 16. That gives me 40 but with a minus sign. So this was the answer of this set of questions. Now solve another one. So this was another set of a very straightforward set of questions. So in this case, the first number was minus 53 plus 17. So we know that minus 53 plus 17 means we simply have to do 53 minus 17 and it would be a negative answer. Why? Because this 53, which is the larger number out of 53 and 17, is negative. So 53 minus 17 is what? 53 minus 10 is 43, minus 7 is simply 36. So it would be 36 but with a minus sign. So this is the first term. Next comes minus 26 minus 31. So we know that it would be same as 26 plus 31 but with a minus sign. So 26 plus 31 we can simply solve. This would be 57 but with a minus sign. Next is minus 81 plus 15. So it is, in this case, one number is negative, that is minus 81, another is plus 15. So we know that the answer would be 81 minus 15 but with a minus sign. Why minus? Because this 81 is negative. So 81 minus 15 is what? Simply that is 66. So this is 81 minus 15 is 66 but with a minus sign. So this would be the answer of this term. So these questions are actually very simple, but the moment when you do it yourself, that is the moment that actual improvement comes. So these questions are very simple, but this knowledge will only translate, this will only come to you when you will actually solve these questions by yourself. So always just listen to it carefully and then attempt all the questions which are coming in front of you. So in this case, the last term was minus 45 minus 20. We know that it would be same as 45 plus 20 but with a minus sign. So it would be minus 65. This is my expression, this is my final set of answers for this set of questions that was given to us. So now let's just solve one more set and then we'll go to the next logic in today's class only. Now solve this one. So this was another set of a very straightforward questions. So in this case, the first one was very simple one. It was 31 plus 12. So since both the numbers are positive, we know that the answer would be simply the addition of these two, that is 43. Now comes the next one. So in this case, this is minus 43 plus 15. So we know that the answer would be 43 minus 15 but with a negative sign. Why negative? Because in this case we can judge that the number with the larger magnitude, larger in value, is actually this 43, but this is negative. So we'll do it simply 43 minus 15, which is 28 but with a minus sign. It would be minus 28. Next is minus 81 minus 19. We'll simply add both of them. So it would be minus of 81 plus 19, that is minus 100. And next is minus 64 plus 24. This is again a case of one negative and positive. So we'll simply subtract these two. So it would be 64 minus 24, that is 40 but with a minus sign. So this is the sense. So this is again a very straightforward sense. We just need to actually brush this up so that we can use it in any question which comes in front of us. So this is the zone where we can't afford to make any mistake. This is so simple but so strategic, because if you do a mistake over here, then all the question would go wrong because of a very basic sense. So we cannot afford to do mistake, at least at this level. So in a similar manner, actually we have to understand the logic behind subtraction as well. So let's say in the case of subtraction, we are given two numbers, one is 10 and one is 5. And the question is to subtract 5 from 10. So from 10, 5 is to be taken out. So it means simply what? When both the numbers are positive, so that is the simplistic of cases that we have actually already handled. So 10 minus 5 is simple, that is 5. So this is something which we have already done while simply subtracting terms one from another. So this is something which you already know. So in this case the question was simply subtract 5 from 10. Now let's say we are given a number 10 and another number is minus 5. So now the question is subtract minus 5 from 10. So when we have to subtract this minus 5 from 10, it means we have to do 10 minus 5. So now the interesting part is this, that when we have to actually do this 10 minus 5, then this minus is actually, in a way, this is minus 1 over here. So simply this minus 1 when multiplying with this minus actually makes it a plus 5. So the answer would be 15. So this is the only understanding which we have to be very careful about, because this is very straightforward. And if you see it logically, this is again true. Because let's say if I add 10 and minus 5. If I simply add 10 and minus 5, so what happens? 10 is somewhere here on the positive side. And if I add a minus 5 to it, it means that we have to go to the left side by 5 steps. But now instead of adding, if I subtract minus 5, then actually it means that instead of going to the left, now we have to go to the right by 5 steps. Which in this case actually makes the answer as 15. So the logic is there, but we don't have to prove it in front of anybody. This is something we actually know, but we are not going to justify it through a number line. But it is again through the number line only. So when we do 10 minus 5, so it would actually become 10 plus 5. That would give us the answer as 15. So just keep this basic sense in your mind. Someone actually tells me to solve this question 3 minus 4. So I can directly say that the answer would be 3 plus 4, that is 7. So this is the sense. So in this case, one number was positive, the other was negative. So positive minus negative would be simply this plus this, which would give us directly the answer as 15 as we have done in this case, or 7 as we have discussed in this case. So now let's say this is now minus 10 and now this is 5. So if we have to solve minus 10 minus 5, can we see that this is a case which we have already discussed? Minus 10 minus 5 would be what? It would be straightforward minus 15. It is in a way that it is same as addition of two negative integers which we have just discussed. So it would be straightforward the same case actually. So this is minus 15, just like the previous example. So in this case, this is positive, negative, and let's say both are negative now. Now let's say this is minus 10 and this is minus 5. So we have to do minus 10 minus 5. So now the interesting part is this, that we know that this minus of minus 5 actually becomes plus 5. Minus of minus 5, it is like this, it is the same case in a way that we have discussed over here. So just keep this basic sense. This is the most interesting part which we have to keep in our mind. This minus of minus actually becomes plus. So now this becomes minus 10 plus 5, which is a situation that we have already discussed many times while adding. So minus 10 plus 5 would be same as 10 minus 5, but with a minus sign. So it would give me minus 5 as my answer. So minus 10 plus 5 would be minus 5. So can we see that we have discussed 4 cases in which one number is positive, the other one is also positive, one is positive, second one is negative. So these are the 4 possible situations that may arise. So the situation is actually very straightforward.